Hi guys, thanks for stopping by. In today's video, I want to talk about why I personally think that diamonds are a waste of money. If this sounds like something you're interested in, then just keep watching. My name is Teresa. I'm so glad that you're here. Now let's talk about diamonds. When Kate Sparkle first reached out to me to ask if I would be interested in reviewing one of their rings for this channel, I thought about it long and hard. And the reason is I want to film content that you, my regular viewers that support this channel, want to see, right? And then it occurred to me that the videos that do the best on this channel show affordable pieces with clothing and with fashion, right? Maybe just like me, you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a diamond as well. A lot of us get emotionally attached to the idea of that it has to be a diamond to get engaged. And I personally believe that there are high quality alternatives on the market that make a lot more sense. So jewelry stores, the same jewelry stores with very high markups, suggest that you spend 3 months' salary on a diamond, which could go toward a down payment on a home, a vacation, an adventure, an experience, and God forbid if you don't spend that, you must not be a good fiance, right? I don't agree with that. I want to get the biggest bang for my buck, get the ring of my dreams, not a little speck of a ring, the ring that I really want that would cost thousands of dollars, and now you have that opportunity. Maybe you're about to be engaged. Maybe when you got married there was no money for an engagement ring and you really want to treat yourself. Maybe like me, you've been kind of really wanting a right-hand ring for years but just didn't find the right one, and now you can get it at a fraction of the cost. Maybe you have a ring that you got 30 years ago that isn't your taste anymore. These are all great reasons to check out Kate Sparkle. If you have not been to their website, I am going to link their website down below. Rings range from around $70 to a little bit over $200, I believe, and shipping is free. Try going into a jeweler and tell them the maximum amount that I want to spend is $200. If they will even look at you and wait on you, they are probably going to bring out an 1/8 of a carat or a 1/16 of a carat. I can't even show you how little that is on my hand. I personally like statement rings. You get so much more for your money with these high quality simulants that are out now. Kate Sparkle has some of the most beautiful wedding sets and engagement ring alternatives that I have seen in a very long time. I have been married personally for over 20 years and I still to this day adore my husband and I adore the diamond ring that I have. However, if I were to lose this ring or if it were to be stolen or damaged in some way that it couldn't be repaired, I would not buy another diamond. I would go right on a website. Kate Sparkle would be my first choice actually, and I would replace it with something similar that I didn't have to worry about anymore and that didn't cost thousands of dollars. For several years now, I've thought about getting a right hand ring because that just seemed like the next stage in my life, right? I'm 56 years old and I just feel like I should have a right hand ring. But I already know I'm not buying diamonds. So when Kate Sparkle reached out to me and told me that I could pick out a ring, I thought, this is my right-hand ring. This is the ring that I've been wanting. And I wanted to pick one that I would wear, and you're going to see this in a lot of videos because I just love it, and we'll talk more about it when it's up close. So I want to show you how the rings come, and this is the box that it arrived in. It has the pretty blue Kate Sparkle logo on the outside. When you open the box, the first thing that I notice is an opportunity to win a $500 shopping spree, so I will read that off camera. On the reverse side, several of the styles from their website are shown, and how gorgeous are these rings. I had honestly never heard of Kate Sparkle until they reached out to me, and I have to say that these are some beautiful handcrafted rings. They have also included a card, and how pretty is this? They give you a gorgeous little gift bag with a pretty blue bow on it. I am a sucker for pretty packaging and lovely presentation, and how nice would it be if you were giving this ring as a gift to put it in this pretty bag. This is what it looks like underneath the cards and the gift bag, and the ring does come in a pretty substantial ring box, and it does say Kate Sparkle on the top. And we're going to open this up. The inside of the box is lined with a black velvet-like fabric. And look at this ring. How stunning is this opal ring Now I film on a very high definition camera, so high definition that it shows every wrinkle and wrinkles I didn't even know I had, but I digress. How gorgeous is this ring? And even though I'm filming this in high definition, honestly, as gorgeous as this ring looks in the viewfinder, it is even more magnificent in person. I can't stress that enough. It has a beautiful opal stone in the center, and it is a two-tone. I'll show you the profile. That's the profile with the setting. I'm really putting this camera to the test in attempting to pick up the stamp that says 925. That tells you that this is in fact sterling silver. Because of this unique design, I also wanted to show you the back of this setting. They have very cleverly set this stone, and I'm sure that it was intentional, so that the light will filter through the opal that's on the top, and it really does sparkle. I'm trying to adequately capture the fire and the brilliance and the sparkle of this magnificent opal. So let's put this ring on. I intentionally ordered a size 8 in this ring because I wanted to wear it on my pointer finger. I have wanted a right hand ring for years, and you all know that I'm a shopper and I'm a bargain hunter, and I could have bought one at any point over the last 20 years, and I never did for whatever reason. And now that I have this ring, I know that this is the right hand ring for me. So as you look at this gorgeous ring, I want to tell you just a little bit about Kate Sparkle. These are handcrafted designer rings. They are made out of solid 925 sterling silver, and I actually zoomed in and showed you the stamp so that you know it's legitimate. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee. Shipping in the US and Canada is free, and if you're international, if you spend over $80, you can even get free international shipping, which is almost unheard of. If you're worried about ordering jewelry online, remember that they do have a satisfaction guarantee. And I am so happy to tell you that in the description box below, I have a discount code where you can save 30% off your first purchase on a full price item. So I thought it would be fun to tell you my own engagement story because I nearly derailed my own engagement. And it also has to do with a ring. My husband and I had been seriously dating for about a year exclusively when we decided to take a cruise. I had never been on a cruise before, and me being the independent woman that I am, insisted I'm going to pay my half, right? At the best price. Of course, we booked the cruise well in advance, a good 6 months in advance, as a matter of fact. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind as we're making these different installment payments, boy, I sure hope this relationship works out, because if it doesn't, I'm going to be stuck in a tiny little cabin with someone I'm not even speaking to. What am I going to do? Will I have to sleep up on the deck on a lounge chair for the whole cruise? Luckily, by the time the cruise date arrived, we were not only still together, but very much in love. But I did not see this engagement coming, not whatsoever. So the very first night, they have this really fancy captain's cocktail party, and I'll try to remember to insert a picture of us that night. Now, before you judge our hairstyles, remember that this was in 1997, and I still wasn't over the 80s hair. You know, the hair where you use a lot of hairspray and you make it kind of stand straight up like a hand? That's the look I had going. It's just how I looked at the time. You get dressed up all fancy in your finery. I don't know if they even still do that on cruises. Comment down below if you've been on a cruise recently. Do they still do the captain's cocktail party? I have no idea, but I'm glad that they did, because something that you need to know about me is I am a foodie, and I would even describe myself as an extreme foodie. I love food beyond all reason. I will try nearly anything. So when a normal person walks into a gathering, they might scan the room to see who else is there, or maybe where an emergency exit is. I don't know, something practical. Do you know what my eye immediately scans for? Hors d'oeuvres being butlered. Full disclosure, I have become a master at making friendly eye contact with the wait staff that is carrying around butlered hors d'oeuvres. I love hors d'oeuvres. I can make an entire meal out of it. And as soon as we were seated in this very luxurious area and we were all dressed up and it was just a lovely evening and I had a glass of champagne that they handed us at the door in my hand, I made eye contact with every server that had a butler tray, right? And because this technique is successful, we were nearly immediately approached by the first server that had a tray of hors d'oeuvres, and I was in my element. This, to me, was the best cruise ever because we were seated in this nice area and hors d'oeuvres were just coming. It was flowing like water, right? They one behind the other. Just when there was a lull in the hors d'oeuvre service, my husband looked at me very intently and reached for my hand. But simultaneous to that, another server who I had made eye contact with made their way over to us, and there's an hors d'oeuvre tray right here, right? So I'm going to say playfully, my husband tells this story completely differently. I'll have to get him on tape one day telling you this. I playfully smack his hand away and I go for the hors d'oeuvre. And I'm happy as a clam, right? I got this hors d'oeuvre, it's got some caviar on it. I am having the time of my life. I'm so happy about these hors d'oeuvres. And I turn to my husband to resume our conversation, and he is looking at me like I have three heads and I have no idea why. And I'm thinking, do I have something stuck in my teeth or my pantyhose tucked up into my dress? Why is he looking at me this way? And he looks at me very intently, and he looks nervous and horrified all at the same time, and I have no idea why, right? So the poor man regains his composure and he says, how's the hors d'oeuvre? And I said, it's fantastic. Did you try one? And he said, no, I was thinking about something else or something like that. He then goes to take my hand again. Now at this point, there are no servers in sight, so I go along with it, and he's holding my hand. The next thing I know, and I still get emotional thinking about this to this day, he's down on one knee and he's quietly proposing to me in the most eloquent, beautiful way. And we're surrounded by hundreds of people, but it was as if we were the only two people in the room. I still get choked up about it, actually. He then proceeds to tell me that at our next port of call, and I believe it was the island of Martinique, that we were going to go to a jewelry store and that I could pick out whatever ring I wanted. Now here's where it ties into these Kate Sparkle rings, actually. Up until this point, we had been dating seriously, but we had never talked about money together as a couple because we weren't engaged, right? We go into this gorgeous jewelry store and we're ushered over to this special seating area, and they give my husband a beer. I guess they figure the man needs to drink while this is all happening, I'm not sure. And they're just fawning over themselves to show us all these diamonds. A display of diamonds all throughout the store, and I have no idea how much any of them cost. And then the salesman says, I have just the ring for you. I need to go in the back and get it out of the safe. And I'm thinking, well, this must be a special ring, right? He's going to get it out of the safe. The salesman returns from his trip to the safe, and he asks me to hold my hand out, and he slips it on my finger with a flourish, and he's smiling brightly, and I look down at my hand, and it is the biggest honking diamond I have ever seen in my entire life. I don't know what the Hope diamond looks like, but I'm pretty sure that this was up there. And I'm looking at it, and in the back of my mind, I'm wondering, did my husband somehow call ahead, and is this the ring that he wants me to have this huge reaction to? Now, we must have been dressed pretty nicely that day, or appeared to be dressed pretty nicely, because clearly this salesperson thought that we were the lives of the rich and famous. Honestly, it took us 6 months to pay off that cruise, but I digress. So I'm looking down at this ring, and I have no way of knowing how much it is, what the budget is. I've been given no budget. And also, did my husband somehow prearrange for me to see this ring, and is he expecting some huge reaction from me? And I look down at it, and it's a cut I don't care for. So now I'm thinking, well, what do I do? I don't want to have a ring the rest of my life that I don't like the style. What if he did prearrange? So I glance over at him, and I'm trying to read the situation, and I'm really good about reading people. Well, let me tell you, one look at my now husband's face cleared everything up. No, he did not prearrange for me to be shown this ring. And he was wondering how much it was too. And he looked like he had the fear of God that I would actually select this ring, right? And I really didn't like it, I'll be honest with you. It's not all about what's the most expensive or what's the biggest for me, right? So I look at it and I realize, okay, I'm pretty sure that we're thinking the same thing here. And I say, you know, I have really small hands. I just think this ring overwhelms me. And the salesman gets deflated for just a moment, and then we look at other rings in the store, and I still have no idea what the budget is because we've never talked about this. At this point, the salesman takes the Hope diamond back to the safe, and we're looking at other rings, but I still have no idea what price range I should be in. We have never talked about this. Now, in my head, I want to be a responsible person and not just blow someone else's money. And now we're getting married, right? So I don't want to blow what's going to be our money, right? But at the same time, I want a ring that I really love. And I didn't want a little speck, but I didn't want a gigantic diamond. And I agonized over the choice. And I finally found the ring that I loved so much. And then, in typical true female form, I drug him to every other jewelry store on that island because I wanted to make sure. And typically, the very first ring that I said, that's the ring, that's the one we left the island with. Now, to this day, I love this ring and I love my husband. I can tell you this definitively, though. If some unfortunate thing were to happen where this ring were lost or stolen or damaged in some way that it couldn't be repaired, I know for a fact that I would not ask to have it replaced with a quote, real diamond. I would go on Kate Sparkle's website and choose a similar style ring and replace it. And here's why. Once you have a diamond ring, you have to worry about it for the rest of your life. What if it gets lost? What if it gets stolen? Maybe I shouldn't take it on vacation. Maybe I should keep it in a safe. And I want to wear my jewelry. And I'll be honest, I never take this ring off. I do all sorts of things I shouldn't do. I wash my hair with it on. I take a shower with it. I do dishes with it. I don't take it off. And this is where I want to circle back to the fact that if you are contemplating marriage, if you are thinking about engagement, maybe you're starting to drop hints about what kind of ring you'd like, bear in mind that the markup in retail is so high for jewelry. When you go into a fancy jewelry store and you're ushered into that plush velvet chair and you're sitting at the sparkling showcases and there's a crystal chandelier hanging over your head, do you know who pays for all that? We do. The consumers do. At this point in my life, I feel that it's wiser to take the savings from that high markup on a diamond for these identical stones that are simulants and put that money toward a down payment of a house, or to purchase a car, or to take a vacation, or for future college tuition for your children, or for a fun adventure with your husband, because they look identical. I know that many of you are bargain hunters, and the thought for me at this point in my life of spending thousands of dollars, whether it's my own money or someone else's, and especially someone that I love, right? I can't do it. I just can't do it. So if you are considering engagement and you're looking at rings, I highly recommend that you check out the rings on the Kate Sparkle website. You will be astonished at this assortment. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend with me. I truly appreciate it. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and also consider hitting that subscribe and notification bell. That way you'll see my future videos. Until next time, bye guys.